If I have to pick one though, I guess I would come back to India actually. So it's important to get training in various areas, not just archaeology in that narrow area. The connection between the fieldwork and the research question. India is very important to us. That is a tough question.
So Mike, what brings you back to India? And you can just give us your background a little bit?
Yeah, well, it's great to be back in India. I haven't been here since 2012, but I have worked here for a long time between 1988 and 2012. And I've come to a conference here, and it's great to be here and interacting with old friends and meeting students now. And I've returned to India not only to come to this conference, but also to hear what's going on and work with our Indian partners and universities and to think about the future as well. So I have been very lucky because we just got a very large grant, and it's for 7 years, and it's called a Center of Excellence in Australia. And that Center of Excellence is to look at us, Homo Sapiens, our origins in Africa, and our spread around the world. So India is very important to us in respect to that, and looking at Homo Sapiens, our origin in India, and how did Homo Sapiens get here, and even where are we going in the future. And archaeology can help us to address that.
Right. So in that context, if you look at things globally and also India, what are some of the big questions in paleoanthropology that need to be answered at various levels, in addition to modern humans and beyond?
Yeah, I'm very interested in climate change and looking at the deep past, but also to look at, what we've learned in terms of looking at the past and how that actually, integrates with how we live in our contemporary world, our planet. We know there are major crises we're trying to deal with, but there are many lessons in the past that I think we can bring forward and think about the connections between the past, the present, and even the future.
Okay. And if Indian students wanted to get involved in paleoanthropology, take things to the next level within India and outside of India, how do you think they should go about it?
Yeah, well, listen, I'm an archaeologist by training, but over the years, I've really tried to diversify as well, and to not only in terms of being in university and taking a broad level of classes in different areas from geology to history, and trying to learn more about the context in which we live in, about the planet, and looking at environment. So it's important to get training in various areas, not just archaeology in that narrow area. But also I've been very lucky because I've been in different departments over the years. So for instance, I was in a department of biological anthropology as an archaeologist. So I learned a lot about fossils and fossil evolution, but also genetics. And then after that, I moved on to a department that was more oriented towards earth sciences. So I got to learn a lot more about environments. And, in learning about that and interacting with other scholars and having students interested in these different areas, we've come together in order to tell a story about the past.
Right. And that actually makes me think about how students would choose specific topics, study areas. Now, they have to balance between selecting a new area and survey for sites, excavating new sites, but also looking back at known sites and reinvestigating them with new methods. How would you say that they can balance this, new sites versus known sites?
Yes. I mean, so I think for students, it's important to think about what it is they want to learn, first of all. So the research orientation, the research questions are of paramount importance. And then you've got to obviously go about doing something that's very practical, but also innovative, right? So you want to make a contribution to science or to archaeology or to paleoanthropology. And I would say to carefully choose a research project that you can do in a relatively short period of time, but also thinking long term too. And so I think, in terms of doing field work, having projects that either look at sites we already know about and then trying to improve our knowledge about those sites, or surveying in areas that we want to know more about. And those are important, contributions. But I think it's really important to think about the connection between the field work and the research question.
Right.
And making that contribution.
Right. And one of the things I've noticed from your background and current research, you work all over the world practically. Saudi Arabia, Africa, India, China, Iran.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask you for a long time is, which is your favorite site and why? I know it's a tough question, but...
It is a tough question because I've worked in many wonderful places and have a number of great colleagues and done some remarkable work. So my work actually extends over the last 2 million years. So, I mean, if I have to pick one though, I guess I would come back to India actually, because that work for me was seminal. And it actually, the work we did in India, in southern India, at a place called Jawapuram was very important because we found some terrific archaeological sites that were very well preserved. And we were able to do wonderful work there, and we were able to, do some terrific publications. But that got me into a debate. It got me into a debate that was never ending, and I'm still in it. And that is, when did modern humans, Homo sapiens, get into the subcontinent? So that was a question of timing, but also what was our relationship to other forms of humans, archaic humans like Neanderthals, for example. And those are fascinating questions we still have today, but it all, for me, started in southern India.
Right.
And that's why I worked in other parts of the world, to go and look at other parts of the world.
Led to more questions.
If I could address that, more broadly as well.
Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, it's been wonderful to see you here after so many years and reconnect. And it was wonderful to also understand a lot of the points that you raised, important points in the workshop. And we hope that we can interact with you again in the future.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for this interview.
And great to see you too.
Thank you.